actual name is Kenesha Johnson. Nobody calls me that, but you can if you want to. I've been in the auto industry a little over 8 years now. I actually started off selling Hondas. Did that for a few years, became a corporate trainer, which I taught the sales process. So any new person that came in, I literally taught them how to sell cars, did all that. From there, I transitioned into the finance world. So I was a finance trainer / traveling finance manager. So I would teach F&I, but then also I would spend like 30 to 60 days in low performing stores, different types of franchises, and just do F&I, help build the numbers, and then I'd move on to a different place. After that, I went back into the store and I became a sales manager at a pretty big Subaru store. They built it up. I had 30 salespeople underneath me. It was pretty fun. I barely ate and ran around. It was a good time. And then my bosses started Mezzin Dealer Services, which is what I work for. We started about 3 years ago. They called me about 2 years ago and were like, hey, you want to come help build this thing up? And I said, heck yeah. So now this is where I am. So that's how I'm here. So Maury's is one of our clients. And we kind of service mostly the Midwest, and then we've got some dealer groups in a couple other states here and there. So, any questions for me before we get started? All right. So I have the pleasure of kind of going over my walk around with you guys. I'm a big visual person. I'm also kind of a why person. So I'm not only going to go through my walk around with you, but I'm also going to tell you why I like to do what I do. I've been using this walk around, honestly, the last 8 years. It's an outline for me. All I do is just kind of plug and play and insert depending on the person that's in front of me. This walk around is not only going to help you build excitement and sell the car, but it's also going to give you a seamless transition into helping the customer protect the car without being really, really obvious about like, hey, I'm talking to you about cat protection. So that's what this is about. If you have any questions while we go, please stop. Okay? So first things first, let's go this way. So I always like to start at the hood. I like to work my way around. I call this the 4-point walk around, 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can imagine. And I like to do this before I go out on a test drive. This is kind of me when I butterfly the car. So imagine it kind of open and ready to rock. This is when I do it. If you want to pull it up on a pad, if you want to bring it in a delivery bay when it's cold, if you want to take them down the road, wherever you want to do it, I just like to have some quiet. I want them to just focus on me and the car. So first thing you're going to notice is that bullet point number 1 is the hood, and the first thing is the warranty. So I keep it simple. I say, hey, Mr. Customer, we'll pretend like this car's new. Honda's going to give you a 3-year, 36,000 mile comprehensive warranty. What does that mean? That's going to cover all the fun things in the car. And this is when I start to hit all the things they told me they liked. If it's CarPlay, I'm going to say CarPlay. If it's heated seats, I'm going to say heated seats. If it's the sunroof, whatever they told me they liked about this car, that's what I'm going to touch on. So in this case, hey, Mr. Customer, you get a 3-year, 36,000 mile comprehensive warranty. That's going to cover that touch screen. So you got the CarPlay. It's going to cover the heated seats, the backup camera, all the cool reasons that you picked out this vehicle. You're also going to get a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. That's going to cover, and then I would actually open up the hood and I would point to the engine, right? The silver block, the transmission, and the drive assembly. So layman's terms, everything that makes the vehicle go forward and backwards. Really cool option that you have. You did tell me that you're going to keep this car for a while. You have the advantage to take all that coverage and extend it out to match your driving habits. We can talk about that later. Done. There's your VSCC plan. Doesn't have to be dramatic, doesn't have to be anything crazy, but what I did is I gave some context to what that means. So later on, you're like, hey, you remember that touchscreen, that backup camera, those heated seats, all that stuff? You only get that for 3 years. You're keeping this for 8. Then they can go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's exactly what I do.
I told you, I said I think you and I are going to have very similar walk around. The second bullet point that you're going to see here, sorry, I skipped. So I did the VSCC plan. The second one, or the third one, is going to be safety. So what I like to do, I like to talk about the ACE body structure, ACE. Some of you probably know that if you're Honda certified. It's something.
We should all know that.
Yeah.
Everybody should be going,
Everybody
yes.
should go, yes,
Yeah.
I know ACE body structure.
Yeah.
Talk about it. It's a really cool thing. Honda takes a lot of pride in it. Long story short, this thing has strong points, give points, crumple zones all throughout the car that are designed to keep the customer safe. So in the event of a front-end collision, that engine's gonna drop down, it's gonna slide out, and it's not gonna end up in your lap. And if you're anything like me, you probably like your legs, right? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Most people go, yeah. That is a gap seat plan. Now you might think, like, well, why do I need to do that? It's also gonna tie really, really well into your VSC. Statistically, people who see value in gap protection also tend to see value in a vehicle service contract. So it seems subtle, and you're kind of like, why do I need to do that? Those two things are married together, and I know for a fact you get paid on one of those. So it increases your chances. Make sense? Any questions about the front of the hood at all? If you want to, you can hit on aesthetics at this point in time. If that's a hot button for someone, if that's something that they really like, talk about it. No problem.
Real hot car.
Yeah, right? Some people like that. They're like, this girl is amazing, this, that. Hit on it. Whatever it is that they like, talk about it. That's the hood. And it usually takes about that long. So you don't have to be here all day. Make sense? The other thing I like to do is this. What did you all just do?
Oh,
Yeah, you follow me, lead. Don't be afraid to lead your customer. That's in general. I was talking to these guys in the office. Something that I did, especially this time of year, it's starting to get warm. People are going to be out walking the lot. If someone's outside, I don't ask them if they want to come inside. They ask me a question, whether it's pricing or inventory, whether I know the answer or not. I'm like, oh, it's a great question. All my information's inside. I just walk away. I've only had one guy not walk with me, and it was the most awkward thing because I stopped and I was like, you coming? And he was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do. He was like, yeah. So just leave. Just walk. People will follow you, I promise. They don't know what else to do. So try it. So I just shut the hood and I walk this way. Now, this bullet point here, the passenger side, I actually like to give myself some visual cues. You can take or leave what you like. I like to actually start at the tires and the rims because it kind of helps me transition into me demoing the key. Now, we do offer protection, whether you guys want to talk about it or not. I'm going to give you the seat plan. It's up to you. We do have a protection that covers the tires and the wheels. How I transition into that is I talk about the rims. Every car, for whatever reason, I don't know why they decide to do it, but they change the rim size or like the color or whatever based on the trim. Use that to your advantage. Hey, this is the EXL. It comes with the two-tone, whatever, 19-inch rims. We have a coverage that's actually going to keep those things looking great for you, protect the tires, protect against dents and dings, but most importantly, the key fob. And then I take that time to demo the key fob. If it's remoteless key entry, I'll show them. Proximity entry, I'll go over that too. It's another hot button to increase that VSC for you guys. Because then you can talk about that later. Hey, all that technology, remember when I showed you that little computer that talks to that big computer in the car? That's just another little thing you can use. So if you want to start there, you can. I just do it because it's a good thing and a reminder for myself. So I go wheels, rims, dents, dings, finish with the key. I also like to get into the back seat. Getting into the back seat for me is kind of funny because I'm a fun-sized person, so I fit in most places. I will tell people that, so I go, hey, you can clearly see, right, I fit here. If you're a bigger person, it could be to your advantage too. Hey, I'm a little bit bigger, but you can see I have plenty of room. Do it. I get in and out because what it does is it helps me with my environmental seat plan, which for you guys is your pack seat. When I get out, I like to point to the floor because in most cases, your car, especially a new one, unless it comes with that package or if it's a certified pre-owned in some cases, it has like carpet, right? So I'll say, hey, what my customers like to do, they like to protect the inside of their car. They start by adding all-season mats. Most importantly, they add a paint and interior protection, an interior protection as well as a paint protection. Simple. Another thing I do is I like to use keeping up with the Joneses, what my customers like to do. I'll even get specific and be like, hey, what my HRD customers like to do, people are like, what? Well, I can't be the only one that doesn't do it. Exactly. Right? Exactly. So again, if you want to get in, you can. If you don't, that's fine. But that's my visual reminder to talk about it. So when I get out, I point to the inside. I go, hey, you'll notice there's carpet mats in here. What my customers like to do, they like to upgrade those mats. They like to get the all-season mats. They also like to couple that with a product that we have that protects the interior against food, oil, grease, and beverage stains. And most importantly, protects the exterior from pretty much just this, right? And people kind of go, oh, okay, sounds good. Subtle, simple. That's the key here. Any questions? Am I moving too fast? I get excited sometimes when I start talking too fast. No? All right, come this way. Back of the car. Bullet points here. Functionality. I open it up. Show them how it works. Show them where the spare tire is. Show them if they've got a privacy cover. Just show them. I know it seems silly, but a lot of people, this is kind of the second place that they spend a lot of time. It's not in the driver's seat. It's loading and unloading things into the vehicle. If it's got a power lift gate, if it doesn't. These things matter. They seem silly, but they matter, right? The other thing you're going to see is accessories. This is a great time if you want to plug accessories to do so. You want to talk more about, some cargo trays or a dog kennel or like whatever. This is a way for you to personalize this car to the person in front of you, get them thinking about owning it. The last thing you're gonna see is a VSC seat plan. This is tying to the front of the vehicle. Super subtle. I simply just talk about roadside assistance here. I'll say, hey, you know those warranties that I mentioned up there? You're actually gonna get your first 3 years, 36,000 miles of roadside assistance. That's on Honda. Cool thing about upgrading that coverage is you can have roadside assistance for as long as you decide. People are like, oh, okay. Subtle, simple. Now, I started doing that more because I kid you not, I had a lady, one time I was selling her an Accord Champagne, that champagne Accord color. I don't know why anybody likes it, but she loved it. That's good for her. Yeah, I don't know, but she liked it. She was so dry, and as you can see, I'm a very animated person. And every single time I get excited, she's just like, okay, okay. And I'm like, woman, give me something. Yeah, give me something. And so I say that, I bring up the spare tire, I'm talking about roadside, and she goes, oh yeah, well I have AAA. I'm like, no problem, you can cancel it. Like, it'll be included in your vehicle service contract. And she's like, okay. We go on, she buys the car, she gets the VSC, I'm doing my delivery, I'm showing her paperwork, I'm like, it's in the glove box. And I just had to ask. I was like, you know, what made you get it? She goes, roadside assistance. And I was like, that's it? That was it? Not that it could cover repairs, not that it did any, like, she didn't care. She just was like, yeah, it's extended roadside, and it was built into her payment. And I was like, oh my God. So you never know what someone's gonna like. So my word of advice, say it every single time, right? Any questions about the back? All right. Last but not least, number 4. You're gonna see it says Maroney sticker, roadside, comfort and technology. Get out of here. This Maroney sticker, I always stop here. 2 big reasons why I stop here. 1, it has every feature that I didn't talk about. So instead of being that person, it's like, oh, does it come with the dimming, and you're like trying to do the, yeah. Hey, this sticker has every single thing on this car. If I miss anything, it'll be in your glove box later. What did I do just now? Did you catch that?
You trial closed.
I transferred ownership. I said, your glove box. Right? If there's anything I miss, it'll be in your glove box later. And then people usually go, oh, okay. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking the idea of this could be your car to this is your car. See what I did there? The second thing I like to do is I like to use it for basically backup on my PAC-C seat plan. I already talked to you about the opportunity that people have that they take advantage of to protect the interior as well as the exterior. We have a warranty here that's not honored. You know what warranty that is? It's a corrosion warranty. It's a 5-year warranty. It's going to say it on this Maroney sticker. Every manufacturer gives it. Not every manufacturer basically owns up to it depending on where you live. So by you protecting your paint and by you protecting the inside of your car, you essentially bring a warranty to your car that doesn't exist because it's just simply where you live. So you can go that direction if you want to. It's another way. It's also a secondary if you forget to talk about it on the other side. But the biggest piece is transferring that ownership. The second time I transfer ownership is right here. Then I go, hey, remind me later on to put that in your phone. And then I open the door. Most people just go, okay. That's it. Then I open the door, I have them get in, and I have them get comfy. Now this is gonna seem kind of weird, but I do this every time. When I pull up the car, I make it uncomfortable. I'll pull the seat all the way up, I'll twist the mirrors, I'll make everything just distorted. Why do you think I do that?
So they can make it comfortable.
Yes! Yes, I want you to get in there. I want you to be in the cockpit. That's where you're gonna live. And what I don't want is someone to just hop in and go, yeah, it's good enough, because that could be an objection. They just don't know. And I've had that happen. As a manager before, I've come out, I've tried to close, and someone's like, oh, I don't know, I just don't really like the car. And I'm like, it was the ride. I'm like, okay, let's go back out and actually get you comfortable. We adjusted everything. We put the mirrors where they need to be. We got the lumbar. We did the 8-way. We did it all. They went back out on the block, and they're like, you know what? It was the fact that I just wasn't comfortable, and they ended up buying the car. So sometimes we can eliminate a common objection that people have just by making sure that they're comfortable and that they understand how to use everything. Make sense?